What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV here. A new game week, new hopes. This week we play West Brom at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Big Sam against Jose Mourinho, which promises to be a ball fest.
Oh man, it's going to be a spectacular game. Free-flowing football. I can't wait. Oh man, it's what's it called? It's Allardyce versus Allardyce Light. Apparently, is that what they say? What they say? Mourinho's just a glorified Allardyce. That's all they used to say. But look, there's no excuse, isn't there? Yeah, no excuse for this game
this weekend.
And if there's actually one team who's in worse form than us, it's probably West Brom, isn't it?
Yeah.
So you can't if we actually don't get 3 points in this game, it's going to be hard to see him lasting this situation. And I don't care who we put out on the pitch. We have to have the players good enough to beat a West Brom side who are currently sitting 19th. They've lost. They've won one of their last 5, but they've lost 3 of their last 4. Then seriously bad form. They just lost to Sheffield United. I mean, how can we not get 3 points in this game?
Oh, how?
By hook or by crook, we have
Dr.
to get
Tottenham's
3
here
points.
to see you, like they've been here to see the last 3 teams. I mean, look, I just want to get all the. I know I just spoke a bit negative, but I want to get these negative thoughts out of our minds. The form that we're on, we need to start afresh. We need to start from a blank page, and we need to go into this game and just erase the last 10 games out of our memory and just start from afresh and just go at them, man. Just go at them.
I don't want to see a performance like we did against West Brom back in November. That was kind of like the start of the really bad football period that we've been playing.
At least we got bloody 3 points that game.
Yeah, I know. The defense.
At least we ate some samosas after the game. Yeah,
but back then the defense was still solid. But we were really lacking going forward, and now it's like both has kind of come to the fore. Actually, West Brom have won 1 in their last 2 since Allardyce took over. They've played 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 games, winning one game against Wolves away 3-2. They were lucky to win that game as well.
And what you would say about a team where a Sam Allardyce team, you don't usually associate a Sam Allardyce team with conceding a lot of goals. And this West Brom side are conceding a lot of goals. So if we struggle to score in this game, then I really will worry.
5-0 against Leeds.
If I'm not worried, I'm worried already. But
5-0 against Leeds, 4-0 against Arsenal, 5-0 against Man City, 2-2 against Fulham, against a Fulham side who struggled to get 2 goals in a game.
They conceded 2 against Sheffield United. They don't score 2 against anyone.
So this is a team and a defence who leak goals, and we really have to make sure we're on the front foot. We have to make sure we attack them. We have to see our predicted lineup, but I want to see a bit more invention in midfield. I don't want to see us playing defensively. I don't want to see us sitting back and allowing West Brom with the initiative. I want to see us pressing high. I want to see us making it very difficult for West Brom, and I want to see us the one creating chances.
We have to start fast in this game. The longer this game goes on 0-0, the more hairy it gets, and the more chance they can score from a set piece. They can score at any moment. You know what I mean? A dire shit the bed moment. Anything can happen in this game. And it's true though. It's true. Like, we need to stamp our authority early in this game if we're going to get anything.
Yeah. And look. Oh, West Brom, this is on one hand it's the perfect opponent, on one hand it's the worst opponent at the same time. And it depends on where you look at it. It's the best opponent because they're the worst team on form and they concede a lot of goals, and it's a good chance to get the confidence back on. But it's also the worst because what they're going to do. They're going to sit back. They're going to frustrate us. They're going to make it very difficult for us. And those are the teams who struggle against the most. So, Allardyce is going to definitely licking his lips at this one. I really feel like that.
And I just had playing in my mind thinking about this game. Do you remember a couple years back, Jose and Sam had a bit of a thing going on during the game? I can't remember exactly. Not that kind of thing. I couldn't remember exactly what happened. But then after in the press conference, Sam just goes about Jose. Oh, he just can't take it. And I could
without tacticking, without winning him.
I could just see that happening again.
Oh, I really. Oh. If Allardyce does a job on us, I can see it. I can just picture it in my mind. It's really not beyond the realms of possibility that they will do a job on us on Sunday. Early kickoff as well. It's like early. We're going to be waking up. It's like going to be. Are we going to have a fast? When do we ever do well in early kickoffs? I swear, I don't know what it is. Maybe I'm just misremembering. But
I think it's throughout my whole lifetime.
We just never do well in early kickoffs.
It's all so lethargic.
Always the most lethargic. Every game, it's always like never a great swashbuckling game. It's always like like, especially in the first half, everyone's like, you know, just waking up and stuff, you know, getting to grips with the day, and like, and obviously it's no excuse, but I just feel like West Brom are going to come in to frustrate us. They know a point is good enough for them in this kind of game. They frustrated Liverpool, didn't Liverpool 1-0 at Anfield. They got a 1-0 draw at the Etihad as well. So if they've got some big results against away at big teams this season. But the form we're on, the way we're playing at the moment, you just can't. There's no reason why we can't play on the front foot. Like, play like we did the last 15 minutes against Chelsea. Like, play like we did the last 10 minutes against Brighton.
Play like we did the 90 minutes against Newcastle.
Yeah,
but put
like,
away the chances.
exactly. Just create chances. Don't give West Brom the initiative. Don't allow them to be more aggressive than you. You have to be on top of them. You have to suffocate them. And I don't want to see any of this defensive sitting back on West Brom. If we're sitting back on West Brom, then I'm done. I really am done if we're sitting back on West Brom. I am. I'm being serious about that. I think the camera went. Carlos Vinicius, I want to see him starting. I think it's very imperative we have a target man in there, because if we don't have a target man, we don't have a presence in the box, it's going to be meat and drink for West Brom to batter away the balls we put in the box. We need to give them something to think about if we're whipping in crosses, and that's Carlos Vinicius. Yeah,
no, I completely agree. Where do you think the key matchups are on the pitch?
Well, the one player I'm very worried about is Pereira, who obviously was quite good in the Championship.
He's had a good season, hasn't he, so far?
I would say he's had an average season in terms
of like the West Brom squad.
He's been their biggest threat.
Yeah.
And he's been pretty decent for them. He's been pretty decent. He's got 5 goals, 3 assists. He's top of their charts on both of them. And whenever he does score, he does seem to be like a worldie. He does seem to be outside the box, free kicks, these kind of things. He's definitely got a lot of quality. He's one of those players that he can definitely be marked out of a game. He can definitely be out-muscled. He can be kind of strength, like muscled out of a game kind of thing. And he can be frustrated. So if we do things right against him, we should be able to snuff him out. But if you allow him space, if you allow him time on the ball, especially in and around the penalty box, he can punish you. And if I tell you what, if they get a moment of magic and they go 1-0 up, I worry for us.
I worry so difficult for us to get back in the game. And I mean, like,
but it shows their next 2 top goal scorers are 2 centre backs.
Well, yeah, I mean, we've got a similar problem, just their problem is to a bigger extent. We've got Kane and Son on the same amount of goals, and then Ndombele is next after that on 3.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we're heavily reliant on 2 players. They're heavily reliant on 1 player.
Their strike force at the moment is struggling to score. It's really Pereira. They rely a lot on Pereira to get a bit of magic. One player I do like as well is Conor Gallagher, who's on loan from Chelsea, who's actually been pretty decent for West Brom whenever he's played. He's very combative. He's got a few crucial goals as well this season, and he's a very hard worker. He kind of gets in your face a lot, so he's difficult to deal with. But look, they've struggled badly this season. They haven't had too many impressive displays. They really haven't. I mean, they've struggled a lot.
Their only impressive displays have been against the big boys, really.
Yeah, but that means they turn up when they feel like they're under the cosh.
That's what I'm worried about.
That's the thing with this Sam Allardyce and Sam Allardyce, West Brom needing points as well.
Do you think they're nailed on for the drop?
At the moment, yes. I really do. They've shown no evidence of turning it around, even since Allardyce has been appointed.
Has Big Sam ever... Has he got relegated before?
No.
He's never got relegated before, has he? I mean, writing's on the wall for West Brom a bit.
They're currently 10 points away from Burnley, and Burnley have a game in hand on them.
And you've got to look at the other teams in the relegation zone, Fulham and Sheffield United. They're both turning the corner a bit.
Yeah, and West Brom is still, and even as I said, even that win against Wolves, so it was a lucky, plucky win. They got a goal from like a long throw, and it just scrambled it in, and it was, and then other than that, they got a couple of penalties, and they kind of scraped it, and Wolves could have easily got something out of that game. So it's not like, and it wasn't like an impressive display. They got the 2-2 draw against Fulham not so long ago, and even that game, I was watching that game, and Fulham should have won that game. It was 2-2. It was 1-0 Fulham, and it should have been 2-0 Fulham. And they missed a few really big chances. West Brom turned it around, and then they got pegged back again. So Allardyce has really got his work cut out. But I just, in these kind of games, you can't take them lightly, and especially with the form we're on. It worries me going into this game that it's just going to be a ball fest, and we're gonna coast through it, and we're gonna think, oh, we've got possession, we'll get a goal at some point, and the goal will never come. That's what I'm worried about. Like, we're just gonna be set up for a 0-0 draw, and they're gonna get it. And if we don't make sure we're penning them in, or we're sustaining attacks, and we're putting pressure on them constantly, and we're not making it easy to get out, then they will end up getting a result. It's nowhere near. They've proved already this season they can get results away at big teams. So you know, it's time for Mourinho to show that we can turn this form around.
Do you think if we win this game, you know, win this game 1-0, 2-0, whatever it may be, do you think it does give us confidence going into the next couple of games, or do you think it's kind of just a routine win and nothing really will change for the confidence in the squad?
Well, you know what? We're losing to Brighton at the moment, so you got to take any win as it comes, and I'm sure any win we get will give us a bit of a confidence boost. I know it's only West Brom, and they're kind of losing to everyone at the moment, but you've got to take any win you can get at the moment, the way the form we're on. So yeah, I think it will give us some confidence that we can maybe start getting wins again, but especially, you know, if we get a win against West Brom, then Kane's back for Everton
and City, our next 2 games after.
Yeah, but you know, with Harry Kane potentially back for those games, that might give us a bit of a lift. I'm hoping. You just got to think of the positives in that sense.
Such weak mentality in this squad, man.
Yeah, but you just got to think about where the positives could be. So if we do get the result, and if Harry Kane does come back for Everton, all of a sudden things start looking a bit rosier. But we need to get the 3 points in this one. We have to get the 3 points in this one.
Man, it really is. I mean, it's so important, this game. I can't tell you. After these last 10 games, I struggle to see where these next 3 points are coming from, but I still back us to win this weekend.
I think we'll have a look. I think we'll scrape it. We'll scrape it. A scrappy win, give us a bit of confidence. It's one of those where I can see us. It can be like an own goal or like a goal from a corner, like just deflection. Just scrap it in.
Jake Livermore,
and get
you're
the
a
goal.
Tottenham boy, man. Just help us out.
I can see us just scrapping in a goal somewhere. And I think West Brom, despite the fact that they've struggled a lot this season, they're going to be looking for a point. You know, the fact their strikers don't get many goals and stuff, and the fact that they rely heavily on Pereira, I think Mourinho will see that, and hopefully he could snuff them out. And I'm just hoping beyond hope that we get the win, because if we don't get the win on Sunday, we really are
in freefall.
We're already in freefall, let's be honest, but if we don't get the win again, it just compounds it even further. And then
really tough games coming up after
Mourinho, I think, is going to be under some serious insurmountable pressure if we can't beat West Brom. I really believe that. And when you imperative for his job.
When you look at the last game against West Brom, we had our tails up going into that game.
Yeah,
we really did. Were we top of the league at the time, or just
we're challenging,
or nearly there?
Yeah.
And we go into that game. We have a bad performance, really. Scraped that game 1-0. Now we're going into it. Confidence couldn't be lower.
Correct.
At this point, confidence couldn't be lower. So I am worried going into this game. But with West Brom's form coming into it, I feel that we can nick it. I'm going to go 1-0 again.
Yeah, I think it could be one of those 2 off-form sides scrapping out for anything they can. Yeah. And I'm just hoping we can get the 1-0. And this is what it's come to at the moment. But you just got to be hopeful. If you can't predict the win at home to West Brom, then you really are screwed, aren't you?
Yeah. I mean, I predicted a win at home to Chelsea, so
yeah, but I know, but you know, if I would have told you we were going to lose 1-0 to Chelsea, you're not going to be that surprised. But if I tell you we're going to lose 1-0 to West Brom, then you're like, okay, maybe he does need to go.
All right, so there you have it. That is our match preview. Let me know your score predictions in the comment section below. Let me know how you think this game is going to go in the comment section below. Let's be positive. Let's get some confidence about us, and let's get 3 points this weekend. Like, subscribe, and comment. And as always, come on, you Spurs.